We now shift focus to the West. US President Donald Trump has warned Hamas that they would have hell to pay if Hamas did not disarm quickly.
Now, the U.S. president made the comments as he was meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Florida for talks on Monday. And speaking at a press conference, Trump also downplayed reports of tension with Netanyahu over the second stage of the Gaza ceasefire. He said that Israel has lived up to its commitments and that the onus was now on Hamas. The group's armed wing had reiterated earlier on Monday that it would not surrender its weapons.
Well, we talked about Hamas and we talked about disarmament, and they're going to be given a very short period of time to disarm, and we'll see how that works out. Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be in charge of that from our side, but if they don't disarm as they agreed to do, they agreed to it, and then they'll be held to pay for them, and we don't want that. We're not looking for that, but they have to disarm within a fairly short period of time.
During their fifth meeting in the U.S. since Trump's return to power this year, Netanyahu also appeared to have steered the U.S. leader towards focusing on Israel's concerns about Iran, something that was expected to come out during these talks. Trump said his country could support another major strike on Iran if it resumes rebuilding its ballistic missile or nuclear weapons programs. The US president said that Iran may be behaving badly and looking at new nuclear sites to replace those targeted by US strikes during the 12-day war, which took place earlier this year in the month of June.
So I hope Iran is not trying to build up, as I've been reading, that they're building up weapons and other things. And if they are, they're not using the sites that we obliterated, but they're using possibly different sites. We know exactly where they're going, what they're doing, and I hope they're not doing it because we don't want to waste the fuel on a B-2. It's a 37-hour trip both ways. I don't want to waste a lot of fuel.
Well, much to Netanyahu's dismay, Trump said he was considering selling top-end F-35 fighter jets to Turkey. Trump has warm relations with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, despite his denunciation of Israel's offensive in Gaza. Israeli policymakers argue that F-35s would benefit Turkey in a potential war.
Trump and Netanyahu's talks also focused on other regional points, including Hezbollah in Lebanon and Syria. Trump said he and Netanyahu had an understanding regarding Syria while exuding hope that Israeli and Syrian leaders would get along.
Well, he's been with us all the way. We had that mishap with ISIS, and he was with us all the way. He was fighting us. He was fighting them. So I hope Israel, I'm sure that Israel and him will get along. I will try and make it so that they do get along.
Netanyahu said that Israel was keen to ensure a peaceful border with Syria.
We have terrorists, we don't have attacks, and we also want to secure our Druze friends. And by the way, I think not only the Druze, but other minorities, especially the Christians, should be protected as well in Syria and throughout the Middle East and in Nigeria.
Netanyahu said it had been a very productive meeting and announced that Israel was awarding Trump its highest civilian award. It marks the first time this honor has been conferred upon a non-Israeli citizen.
Now, for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani sent us this report from New York.
President Trump met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He told reporters the U.S. would support strikes to knock out Iran's missile program and prevent Tehran from rebuilding its military capabilities. The meeting came as a fragile Gaza ceasefire has largely held despite sporadic clashes with major questions unresolved over Hamas's future, Gaza reconstruction, and long-term governance. Israel also continues military operations along its northern border aimed at Hezbollah threats. Separately, Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with Prime Minister Netanyahu to discuss regional security, economic cooperation, and combating anti-Semitism, reaffirming close U.S.-Israel coordination in line with President Trump's peace framework. This, according to the State Department. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.